that's his superpower. And I present to you Ilham Kareape, Lost in Transition, Ilham Kareape.
Passengers, the pilot of the day, taking us on this Oktoberfest flight. Unlike today, there was not a jovial day, not a day I was on cloud 9, I was rather on hell 9. Taking you back to last Wednesday. Last Wednesday, I woke up. I had a very, very, very personal engagement I had to look into. And some people who were at the Speechcraft knows the partial story. So Wednesday morning, I had 2 cases to attend. I finished those court work. And then this personal engagement was supposed to be at Mount Lavinia at 11 a.m. I had promised Elmo that I'll be there at the Speechcraft at 5 p.m. to be the round robin master. I finished this at around 10. I get a call. Sorry, the personal engagement is changed into 8 p.m. I was like, okay. So I call Elmo. I'm like, I will have to leave a bit early, but I'll anyway complete the round robin session and then leave. Leave around 7:30. I'll reach there at around 8. Then what happened? At 3 o'clock, I get a call. Ilham, you have to come now, not later. Now means now. At 4:30 you have to be here. I was actually lost in transition at that moment. I was lost. I didn't know what to do. Delayed, postponed, preponed. I know it happens at courts all the time, but when it happens to yourself, it hits you. I called Elmo. He was a man who was with me. He was like, it's okay, bro. Go get it done. I'll take care. So I had to substitute my friend who was supposed to come for this. I had to ask my cousin to fill in his gap. I had to substitute my father who was supposed to come for this with my junior to fill in his gap too. And takes the journey all the way from one end to Colombo to another end, which is Mount Rainier to Hulstaf. Took me 1 hour, 1.5 hours in that traffic, and I ended up exactly at 4:30. Luck sometimes worked in a very twisted manner. There I was at my very personal engagement. Successfully done. All good. At 6:40 I was done. And I don't like to break promises, as I told earlier. I'm in cloud 9 and I promised to take someone to Parliament and I did it. The same way I had to go and see Elmo's Speechcraft at least for the last minute. So I was there, completed everything, and I realized I have few minutes to travel because at 6:40 the traffic wasn't that bad. So I straight away went to the Speechcraft. At Speechcraft, I entered, the last table topic was coming to its end, and everyone, most of the ones who were there, was smirking at me and was like, why did you get late? Perfect timing, why are you here? What happened? What is this? And I was like, no, I had a very personal engagement. Oh, you had a personal engagement? How was that? What happened with that? I was like, it's very personal. Yeah, exactly, that's the point. What happened? Were few of the Speechcraft Toastmasters at the Speechcraft asking me. Except Elmo, no one knew. That personal engagement on that day was my divorce. At Mount Lavinia Kasi Court, my divorce came to my marriage came to an end. It came to an end a year ago, but it came officially, formally to an end on that day. And I came back, and I was there. Joy or not, joyful or not, sorrow or not, it was a mixed feeling. It was a feeling of being lost in transition, being lost in life, Being lost in your marriage life or personal life was that. I was partially joyful that I'm done. I was partially nervous. What am I going to do with life? But life goes on. And this reminds me of another story of someone else lost in transition. A group of people rather lost in transition. As we speak now, there is around 40 plus ships going towards Gaza to help everyone who's lost in transition there in their lives. At least I was just personally and mentally lost in transition. There were people who's lost in transition in their life, fighting famine, fighting for their life and right. As we speak, this flotilla of 40 ships are being intercepted, which has reduced at this very moment to 10 ships. Fellow passengers in life, we all have our moment. Lost in transition, lost in Oktoberfest, lost in Smedley Toastmasters installation parties. Sometimes 5 o'clock in the morning. But my personal experience is, no matter you're lost in any of this situation, somewhere inside you, there's this voice that always keeps on echoing. Hope. Believe that things will change. And sometimes some things happen for the betterment of your life. Next time you're lost in transition, next time you're lost in any of the festivities or parties or in life, passengers and my dear pilot, remember, hope is the only thing that makes the life and world revolve around sun. Over to you, ma'am.